History is filled with heroes, battles, and victories, but it's also shadowed by mysteries, by stories with no ending. Today, we are rediving into one of World War II's most haunting enigmas, the soldiers who were declared missing in action, but were never found, alive or dead. He writes letters home, filled with hope, with boredom, with the stark terror of combat. Then, one day, the letters stop. Weeks turn into months. Finally, a telegram arrives. The words are cold, official. The Secretary of War desires me to express his deep regret that your son has been reported missing in action. Their missions were incredibly dangerous. They faced anti-aircraft fire from the ground, known as flak, which could tear a plane apart in seconds. They also had to contend with enemy fighter planes, swift and deadly. When a bomber was hit, chaos erupted. The crew had only seconds to bail out. Sometimes, the plane would explode, leaving no chance for escape. Other times, it would spiral towards the earth, a fiery coffin for those trapped inside. Parachuting out was no guarantee of safety. A soldier could be captured upon landing, or worse, meet a grim fate at the hands of enraged civilians or soldiers on the ground. Now, consider a plane that goes down in a remote, heavily forested area, or crashes into the sea. The wreckage might not be found for decades, if ever. The crew vanished. They're added to the ever-growing list of the missing. One of the most famous cases is the disappearance of Glenn Miller, the celebrated band. In December 1944, Major Glenn Miller boarded a single-engine plane in England, bound for Paris to play for the troops who had just liberated the city. His plane departed in foggy, dreary weather and was never seen again. It simply vanished over the English Channel. No wreckage, no distress call, nothing. Was it bad weather? Did the plane's carburetor freeze up? A known issue with that aircraft model? Was it a victim of friendly fire? Some even theorized he was on a secret intelligence mission. We'll likely never know for sure. Glenn Miller, a man whose music brought joy to millions, became one of the war's most high-profile phantoms. His fate remains a mystery, a stark reminder that the war could claim anyone, anywhere. The battlefield itself was a place where people could simply disappear into brutal, close-quarters combat of places like the Hurtgen Forest in Germany or the dense jungles of the Pacific. The lines were constantly shifting. A soldier could get separated from his unit during a firefight, get lost, and wander behind enemy lines. A shell could explode, leaving no identifiable trace of those nearby. The earth itself could become a grave, swallowing soldiers in the mud and craters of no man's land. After the war ended, a massive effort began. The American Graves Registration Command was tasked with the monumental job of finding, identifying, and burying the American dead. They scoured former battlefields, interviewed witnesses, and excavated crash sites. They managed to identify tens of thousands of soldiers, bringing closure to their families. But for so many others, The search turned up nothing. The trail went cold. These soldiers weren't in POW camps. Their names weren't on any burial lists. They were simply gone. For these men, their final resting place is known only to God. To honor them, their names are inscribed on memorials around the world. At the Cambridge American Cemetery in England, there is a wall of the missing, engraved with the names of over 5,000 service members who have no known grave. Similar walls stand in the Philippines, Belgium, and France. These walls are a powerful, somber tribute. Each name represents a life cut short. A family left in limbo, a story without a final chapter. Even today, the search continues. Teams of historians, archaeologists, and volunteers work to locate crash sites and recover remains. Every few years, there's a news story. The wreckage of a World War II plane discovered in a remote jungle, or the remains of a soldier found on a former European battlefield. Using modern DNA technology, they can sometimes make an identification, finally bringing a hero home after more than 70 years. For the families, this discovery is everything. It's the end of a lifetime of not knowing. It's the chance to finally have a funeral, to have a gravestone to visit, to know that their loved one is no longer missing, but at rest. These moments are incredibly moving, a final, belated act of honor for their sacrifice. The story of the missing in action is a difficult but essential part of our history. It speaks to the brutal reality of war, where lives can be extinguished and erased in an instant. It's a story of enduring love and hope from the families who never stopped waiting, and a story of a nation that promises to never forget. Their sacrifice was not in vain, and their memory lives on, not just as names on a wall, but as a solemn duty to remember the true cost of freedom. Thanks for watching. If you found this story meaningful, please like this video and subscribe for more dives into history's most compelling mysteries. We'll see you next time.